unprovoked murder of a woman on a Charlotte commuter train.
There needs to be change.
We are not showing the attack, but moments after this video was taken, 23-year-old Irina Zarutska took a seat in front of the man on the right in the red hoodie and began scrolling on her phone. After a few minutes, police say the man identified as 34-year-old DeCarlos Brown took out a pocket knife, stood up, and stabbed Zarutska several times. Passengers rushed to help her, but it was too late.
Very alarming. A woman who rides solo. People have harassed other people. You can tell that they're probably not mentally well.
Brown was arrested after stepping off the train and faces first-degree murder charges.
I spoke to two women today about the long record of their accused attacker, how we found for the last decade he repeatedly got arrested, prosecuted, had short or reduced sentences, and cases dropped. A revolving door that enabled him to be free to attack over and over again. You'll never forget that guy's face.
No. His eyes, his face, they're seared into my memory.
Ann Kearse says she identified this man, William Livingston, to police in a lineup after she was attacked in June in her Lincoln Park neighborhood along this stretch of Clark Street while she walked to a dental appointment.
He stood about this far from me and punched me and then kept walking north up.
In the last year alone, she is the fourth person to accuse Livingston of a physical attack. He was arrested 3 other times for striking 2 women and a 15-year-old girl.
What is going on in the air? Black men attacking women.
So before we get into Anton's after-hour panel with Q, I want to get your thoughts on this, April. I didn't show the video because the video is viral for those who want to see it. It's out there of the actual attack that happened in, I want to say it was in the Carolinas, North Carolina that was. But then the other attacks with the ladies that were assaulted was out there in Chicago. So what are your thoughts when you see that type of footage and everything that's going on in the world as being a female?
All more of the reasons to have a man by your side, because I don't think that would have went down without having a man, be it your daddy, your brother, your uncle, cousin, whomever. Especially if you're married or something, to having your man by your side, because people are unpredictable these days, and I'm pretty sure none of that was provoked.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that none of it was provoked. So I think with the first one on the train, on the commuter train, that it was unprovoked, but I'm not for certain about the others. But still, something's wrong mentally with you just haul off and attack a woman for what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. So we're going to hear some of their information, and then I'm going to make sure that I give you ladies some solutions. That's one thing that I noticed throughout this panel. They talked, but they didn't really give solutions. People kind of judged and gave their opinions, but I'm going to give you ladies some solutions if you're ever in public transit, just so that you can have something to take away with you. What's up, Joe Jett? Welcome to the chat. 333. Joe, what's up, Classic? What we talking about right now is the things that have been going on. The young lady that was actually attacked and killed in, I think it was Charlotte, North Carolina, on the transit. And then also, is it safe for women anymore? So we're reviewing. Like I mentioned before, y'all can chime in whenever you like, but I'm also going to give some solutions at the end of this icebreaker, just so that women have a safer way. What's up? What's up, Jen? What's up, Skywalker?
Hey, Jen. Hey, Skywalker. Everybody's filing in. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah, make sure y'all hit that like button. It's free. Make sure you share it with a friend. It was. Joe just said that was so sad and random. Yeah, it was.
It
was.
We're
going to do a little bit of Anton and Q's panel, and then we're going to give our information throughout. You guys leave what you think in the chat as well, and we'll get on those chats too.
Nowadays. But go ahead. Anybody want to jump in first?
That's a straight demon.
It's a what?
Demon.
Which one?
The attacker.
Both of them.
To stab somebody for no reason. Like that's not even.
Should women be on the alert of attacks for men? Should we be scared? Should we keep an eye out regarding men in general?
I think
pause it right there.
Keep an eye out.
Exactly what she just said. When we're by ourselves, we need to be vigilant and have our head on a swivel at all times, because you never know, So exactly. You can go ahead.
No, I agree. I just
Yeah.
dislike the verbiage, but I do agree with what you're saying. I didn't like how you worded it because this is not like a every man issue. Like every man is not out to attack things like that. So just keep that in mind, ladies. But we're
Okay.
gonna listen to what they have to say too.
Where your surroundings, but like especially men if you're a woman. You know what I'm saying?
How do y'all feel about the rash of the rash of attacks? Well, let me start off by saying this. There's always been a sentiment amongst women that say that they scared of men when it comes to men that's approaching them and that they deal with on a daily basis. Are women justified in saying that they fear men out and about in the wild on a regular basis, considering everything that's been going on with all of the attacks that's been happening?
In my opinion, no.
Why?
No, just because I think you have to approach people with good faith. And if you're too quick to judge a book by its cover, you may misjudge that person. So I think it's just important to be aware of your surroundings. And yeah, like women should be aware of both women and men because anybody can attack you. But that's just my thoughts.
I don't let my wife go out by herself at nighttime. I'm just being real. Like we live in a world now where it's so easy to be taken advantage of. And especially with women, I think that they have the false sense that everything's going to be safe and everything's going to be okay because of feminism. And now we're starting to see it that in broad daylight on a train or whatever, someone can get stabbed up and nobody on the bus does anything. That's what's really troublesome to me is nobody did anything. But
did you not hear the part where they said they did help? But at the same time, are you willing to put your life in danger? If somebody's stabbing somebody, are you finna jump in front of that knife?
I guess if we really care about Black women, yeah. Me personally, not because I'm not going to be on the train. I'm going to be in my car.
Well, let's
now. Nobody talked about race, and none of these women that they talked about were Black. So let's pay attention, audience. Everybody in the chat, pay attention. How we start to create narratives. It's all about what people hear. People hear totally different things. So here we go.
Let's put it in perspective. They didn't help. It was somebody that tried to help the woman after, it was one person that tried to help the woman as far as whatever. But when he was walking around the train and stuff, everybody was still minding their business and in their phone. And they wasn't paying no attention to what was going on or paying attention to anything that happened in the back of the train. I don't want to show the video, but it was blood all over the floor and everything like that. And everybody was still just kind of chilling.
It's the bystander effect. Everybody know bystander effect? Everybody thinks that somebody else is going to do something, so you don't do anything.
I thought they said that people didn't even notice it until he started walking like in the car, and then blood was kind of like dripping because they showed the video where blood was dripping, and that's when people noticed it. And then when they noticed the guy back to kind of help.
The fact that nobody got up and helped, that's the bystander effect. That's just a psyche. People think, oh, somebody got stabbed. Everybody else thinks that somebody is going to stand up, so you just stand by and let somebody else do it. As far as the question where it goes, should be women in general be afraid to get out the house? That's unrealistic, I think.
So I want to stop right there, as you see, because they're going to go on. They're going to go into like some other discussions too. But I thought it was a good icebreaker because this has been brought up a lot, right? On the Queen's panel, you ladies talked about not feeling safe. I know on his panels it's been brought up a few times, and now we're starting to see these incidents more and more of being attacked. With that being said, I think it's kind of like what Carmen said, and I think her name was Tamara. They were saying that it's not realistic to think that like everyone's going to be unsafe to be around, that every man is there to attack you. So I like to hear some women do have like that, still have that common sense there, even though it might be some fear there as well. The gentleman at the bottom talks about like he doesn't let his wife do anything at dark by herself. They do go on to say this, April. They do ask him like, so what do you do when she goes to work? Or because those women that were walking to work, they were just going to work.
Right.
And like they started to challenge his theory of like, you can't be everywhere that your wife or your
absolutely.
So what are some things that you have noticed, April, that women can do better to be more vigilant? Like what are some things that you notice just women might do in general?
Carry. Even if it's a small little pew pew, a small one, carry. I should carry more than what I do, but I do.
Yeah.
Also, actually, some self-defense classes too would be helpful. I mean, it is what it is. Like they said too, how often is this happening? How often are we seeing this happening? How unsafe do we feel when we walk out the door every day?
Yeah.
So it's just like Classic said, crazy people do exist. You just got to act accordingly, so.
Class said, I didn't see the footage of the incident, but sounds like a depiction of what I said. Yeah, that's what we were talking about on the, that's what I brought up too, Class, of that Queen's Code. He said women are as safe as they are to the nearest man is sane. Yeah, it's very true. He said, crazy people exist, act accordingly. That's very true. Skywalker said, Class is dropping them jewels as always.
Just like Classic showed it on one of his shows.
She said, forget Carrie,
take classes. He said, take classes. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot.
You gotta know how to carry. You gotta know what you carry.
I would tell y'all this coming from a military background, and I actually started off as a military police officer before I went into mental health. And there was a study that showed that up to 90% of gun owners, even if attacked, won't use their weapon. And that study came out
because they really don't want to use it.
It's that, but also when the fear hits you, your brain starts to operate in that fight or flight. And a lot of people get all the things that they learned in class, or if you don't go to the range enough, or a lot of women put it in their purse. Now you're looking around in your purse. Like, it's a lot of things that can happen.
You can't have it in the purse. You can't be coming for it.
So I will highly encourage women, if you are carrying, try to get to the range at least on a monthly basis. Don't just go to the range. Go to courses where they're training you how to be tactical with your weapon, how to reload it, how to help you in a jam, stuff like that. Kind of goes back to what Key was saying. Classes are important even in self-defense and carrying your weapon. But there are studies out there that show that people who have a weapon still won't use it. Skywalker said it happens way more than I think so too. I think we're going to see it more and more now, just because with the national, I think this stuff is actually kind of like a government play on what's going on in the world right now. If we can show everything that's unsafe and show you more and more, you're going to be more prone.
That's all the reason, more receptive to the National Guard coming in. Yeah,
we gotta push it to you now. I'm not dumb to that. Key said most people don't know what. That's what that's very true, Key.
I've taken on several. I'm rusty. I do need to go back. I need to go to the gun range, but I have taken several classes in the past. So
I was an MP, man. I got a very good thick resume, no pun intended. I did a little bit of everything. I actually did MP.
High value man, are you?
And then I actually did nuclear security too. So very versed in the gun area of life. He said bear mace too. Marksmanship is like cooking. You must practice it, or very true. Very true. And you need to know your laws for your state. So
absolutely
be very aware of your laws for your state. Don't think just because you were self-defense that you can go do some time.
Definitely.
Depending on how they looked at the situation. Jen said a weapon wouldn't have helped the girl on the subway. Unfortunately, trust no one. Be where you can't see everyone. So I wanted to give you guys some just some safety precautions, especially if you're going to be traveling in cities or states that have like metro travel, bus travel. When I lived in DC before moving to Texas for 4 years, one thing that I really noticed about the metro is a bunch of women with AirPods in their ear, Apple headphones over their head. Take all that stuff out. There's no music. There's no conversation that's as important as your life. So make sure, first of all, you're prepared to be vigilant. You can't be vigilant playing games on your phone, texting your friends, those type of things. have a point of contact with somebody every time that you're going to contact and possibly share your location with too. Hey, let them know, hey, I'm about to get on the metro. Here's my location. I'll, just, momentarily until you're able to get to your destination. Because somebody will be able to track that phone as well. And if you become not unconscious, like this lady, she got stabbed like 3 or 4 times quickly. And if you watch the video, she's sitting there and you're just seeing the blood drip. So like she was just there. Nobody would never known that she didn't make it home, if it was like a subway and things of that nature. The next thing I would tell women is this: if you're going to sit down on a public transit, don't sit in the back. Don't sit where somebody can sit behind you. If you are going to sit towards the back by that door that can kind of slide open, make sure you're in that very last seat. Make sure there's no one behind you at all times. Secondly, I highly encourage people to stand up. When I rode public transit, I would stand up most of the time. If somebody was with me, I would tell them, hey, you can sit down, but I'm gonna stand up just so I can be vigilant of everything that's around me.
If you're already standing, you can move your feet a little bit faster.
Stand up. Don't mind that. And then third, I'm gonna say this too. Women have this very bad. Stop being afraid to sit next to a man when you see a seat.
That too.
A lot of women will look at a seat on a full train or metro, and it could be a man sitting there, just got off of work from the Pentagon in a nice suit, and you, instead of sitting next to him, you'll go find a seat all the way by yourself and putting yourself in a more vulnerable situation.
Right. It's pointing fingers at or putting a spotlight on you.
Yeah, we have to be more comfortable with people that we say that we care about, and this is America. Sit down where nobody got cooties. Like, sit down and relax. Have a conversation. That's another thing I tell people. I speak to everyone, even if it's a head nod. I acknowledge something. Me because it helps you. It helps them know that you see them. Because in a place like DC, you'll get very negligent about, homeless people are always on the train, or there's always winos on the train, or you'll see people that'll be running down the doors in the train. Never get comfortable knowing that happens every day. Still treat it like it's the first time it happens each and every time. Let's see here. He said it was totally random. He said, and pray people for protection, for real. Granny taught us by doing it consistently for her almost 120. Dang, man, shout out to
you. Got a big family.
Yeah. She said, yes, classic. Unprovoked, it was sickening. Classic said, stay prayed up for sure, stay dangerous, and stay appropriately paranoid. Yeah, that's what I was just speaking of. Appropriately paranoid. Amen. Classic, stay dangerous is very necessary. He said, no, they don't need us. They can pay their own bills. So, hey, you ain't doing this on this chat right now. Right now, we are giving solutions and positive things that women can do to keep themselves more vigilant. And also change up your routes, change up your patterns, change the way you do things. I was just showing a video earlier before getting on the live that it was a woman that was literally followed even up into her doorbell to her house.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So think about these things. Keep yourself prepared at all times.
Actually, don't start no mess. I'm sorry.
He said, "Who needs a man?"
I'm talking about the last one he just wrote.
I'll get it. Jen said, "Make eye contact with everyone. I want to be out." Yep. Telling you, it changes things when people see that you see them. Women should be able to dress in a little to nothing and be treated properly.
Classic, stop it.
Key said, be nearest to the wall so you can have eyes everywhere else, and at least one side of you is always covered. Facts.
That's true, Key. And what I do when I go to a restaurant, I never sit with my back to the door either. I always look to see where my exits are and never sit with my back to the door. I'll have my back to a wall before I have it to anything else.
Yeah. Class said, no, let's talk about how life should be. If we were perfect, why discuss?
But no, you got to make sure that you know where you're sitting, and if the waitress is telling you to sit over here, but you don't feel comfortable, say no, I want to sit over this way. and they'll make accommodations for you.
Shout out Alicia, welcome in.
Alicia.
She said, right, don't start class. This is serious, LOL. I'm listening. I'm scared. Hey, for real
Alicia, yeah.
For real,
Yeah.
and if you guys looked at the thumbnail we talked about tonight, it's about what's intolerable, man. Like, this is something that, I know we joking. I know Classic's joking too. With that being said, take heed. Men aren't always aggressive and mean towards you to give you advice just to be rude. Sometimes, man, you just got to take heed. It's certain things that we had to live this way our whole life. So it's easy for us to pass that information down to you. But just be very vigilant. Stop following the trends. I hate when I see these girls with these headphones over their ears. I'm a big runner. You see it in the running community too. Like, be aware of what you're doing. Y'all running it.
If I do need something in my ear, yeah. Like, I only have one in. But sometimes you got to be vigilant too, because that one will block whatever's going on this side of you. So you still have to be vigilant.
There's a headset called Aftershocks. If you guys want one that it sits on your temporal lobes area, like
and
right
not
here,
down in the canal.
And they don't go in your ear, but you can hear everything around you and everything, but you can still hear the music very clear. The volumes by the vibration that it provides. Something I really encourage people to do. But again, don't ever get comfortable in your normal situations. Classic said life should be void of all criminal activities so that all women can live as princesses they are. You're a fool, boy. You're
Classic on it. Classic.
Yeah, you're a fool today. But on a serious note, y'all, please look out for yourselves. Make sure you're vigilant. If you don't have to do something alone, don't do it alone.
Yeah.
That's something I would highly encourage. But just be aware. Get off your phone for a second. Stop talking all the time. So that's why sometimes I tell people silence is golden. Pay attention to what's around you. And you know what? Even if you don't got something in your purse, keep your hand in your purse. You'll be shocked what the perception that it looks like. You know what I mean?
And there's so many people. Wait, before you read that, there's so many people walking around like this, walking around like this, like you can't even see where you're going. So you just on a hope and a prayer that you're not gonna bump into somebody like this. They just so glued to it. Like, what, so stop doing that too. Yeah. Put your phone down, put it in your pocket.
And I'm going to repeat too, because the Queen's panel gave some bad information. So I want to do not give your number to a man that you do not want to talk to, even if you think it's going to get you out of the situation. I'll tell anybody this. If somebody's bothering you, walk the other direction, head towards security. They don't know your name. You ain't called honey, babe, cutie, baddie, none of that. I always tell people that don't turn around. People got that bad too, even in social situations. Somebody be like, "Hey," and you turn around, your name not Hey.
It's not.
If somebody don't know my name, I don't need to turn around. You can't be talking to me. So at the end of the day, just stay vigilant, but also just be familiar with your surroundings, man. And it sounds sad, y'all, but I said this probably about a year ago. COVID helped and hurt us, but it helped us in some ways, because now, man, if you want to be safe, you can have somebody dropping your groceries off to your house. You don't even got to leave if you don't. I ain't telling people not to leave their homes, but there's other ways you can be safe if you feel like certain environments aren't for you, or you can't go get somebody to go with you. So be very aware, and teach your kids this too, because your kids are just as vulnerable as the women are. There are people, kids, we got all that going on.
Oh, well, that's something I might have to talk about on my channel.
Yeah,
because what happened to me personally too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna read these, and then we're gonna move on to the meat of the potatoes. But we wanted to give you ladies this today as the icebreaker. Thought it would be a very good topic to cover. Please be safe, man. Please be safe. Classic said, I'm kind of joking, but not really. The only protection from bad men is good men, not strong women. Single women, put yourselves in proximity to men you seem to be prestigious and well-mannered. Let's see here. Classic Code said women need men's protection at all times, even when their husbands aren't around.
Absolutely.
He said a separate problem is the number of men who can't protect themselves either. Very true, Classic. That way things like this happen without intervention. That is so true, Classic. Anybody who met my dad, we always tell people, hey, we ain't gonna miss you. I'm gonna tell you that. And we ain't gonna miss you. That's one thing I don't mind fight. Key says, stop depending on GPS. She said, LOL, I'm guilty. Big facts, Key.
Yeah.
I tell people that
Know where
all
you going.
the time. Yeah, learn where again, women, passenger princesses. Y'all are very bad at this. Y'all are looking at the billboards, you're looking at the restaurant, you're looking on your phone. Pay attention to your surroundings, even as your partner is driving. Be familiar with that, because you'll hear a lot of women say, how you know your way around already? We just moved here, or we pay attention. Like, pay attention. Look for keys, look for clues, look for things that look familiar, that stand out to you. I know a lot of these communities are being built the same these days, but pay attention to key things so that you know where you are. So very, very important. Shout out to Skywalker, man. Appreciate it. Putting a little color in the chat tonight with the $5 super chat. Don't spend it all on bubblegum. We won't.
I'm mature too. I like bubblegum.
Alicia said it can also make the situation worse by not giving it to them. I had a guy actually grab my arm because I wouldn't give him my number. I'm only 4'6". 4'6", you almost little man status, little people status, as they call it. So what I would say, there is, every situation is probably going to be different. Your situation with him grabbing your arm,
you should went boom right to the jewels.
And then I would have said, hey, let me get my phone out, let me get your number, and I would have been dialing 911 in front of him. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing everybody's scared of is the police.
The police. Yeah.
Charleston White, he say one thing, he say that for sure. But I'm gonna tell you, next time a man asks you for your number and they grab you, you say, hold on, let me get my phone so I can put your number in here. 911. Because when they start ringing and if they hang